What is good, everybody, and welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and today marks the 47th day with no baseball. The MLB lockout has gone on for 47 total days now, and there really hasn't been any news besides the failed meeting on Thursday between either side, so it doesn't look like we're getting a meeting anytime this week at least. Hopefully we get a couple next week and this thing can get going. And I do know I am missing a couple of key Red Sox news to talk about, especially the Jon Lester retirement announcement. I'm going to get to that, I promise. I'm putting out a video on Lester on Wednesday. I just want to make sure I do a good job with it, mostly because Lester was one of my favorite players growing up, so I want to kind of do him justice in that video. But for today's video, I'm sure you guys all read the title of the video, so you know what it's going to be about, but the Red Sox actually made some signings during this lockout. The international player pool was still able to sign with teams, and the Red Sox picked up about 10 prospects, I believe, and 3 of them are really noteworthy. So we're going to get into the top 3 guys in this video. We're going to talk about how they play, who they are, and what their path in the Red Sox organization might look like. But before I get into any of that, do me a favor, if you've not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and everybody also make sure they've hit that like button as well. Both of those things not only help out the channel, but they help out the video a lot too. So do me a favor and do both of those. Thank you all very much for clicking on this video. Let's get into it. Now, it's hard to find like true in-depth statistics on these guys, mostly because if you compare them to United States players, they'd be sophomores or juniors in high school. So it's going to be tough to find advanced statistics on them, but I did pull together everything I could find. It's just not going to be super in-depth like we normally do, but we do still have a decent amount of information on them. I'm going to start with the highest rated prospect, a guy by the name of Fraley and Encarnacion. He is a 16-year-old from the Dominican Republic. He is a right-handed shortstop who signed with the Red Sox for $1.2 million. This was their biggest signing in the international prospect pool, and mostly because he is the highest rated prospect that the Red Sox picked up. He is 19th overall in the international prospect rankings list, and the big reason for that is because of his power and the way he approaches at-bats. His at-bats have been described as very patient, and he has very good plate discipline, and when he connects with a ball, it goes a mile. He has a very high power rating for a 16-year-old. If you remember when I did my video on Nick York, he had a 60 power rating as a single A prospect. As a 16-year-old, Fraley has a 60 overall as well, which is very impressive for someone his age. Now, on the field, he is a pretty skilled shortstop with a very strong arm, which could actually better be used at third base, especially if he matures and grows stronger and gets a little bit bigger. He might actually end up being a third baseman. The second player I want to talk about is Fraley de Leon, a 17-year-old switch-hitting shortstop from the Dominican Republic. He is currently the 50th highest ranked prospect on the prospect rankings list, and the big thing with him is also hitting, but not hitting for power. He hits for contact extremely well. In fact, that is his highest rated attribute at 55, which again, if you're saying 50 is the median, having an above average hitting as a 17-year-old is very, very good. The Red Sox also believe that as he grows and gains strength and stuff like that, his power will come with it. As for the fielding, he is a solid footwork defender with a pretty solid arm, which means more than likely he will stay as a shortstop moving up through the ranks unless something else happens. The last player I want to talk about before I get into my opinions on these signings is Johan Garcia, a 17-year-old right-handed catcher from Venezuela. Now, he is currently the 36th highest overall rated prospect on the MLB's international prospect rankings list. And again, the big thing with this guy is his power, and he can hit extremely well. He has great plate discipline. He also has great pitch recognition, and when he makes contact with the ball, it goes a mile. This guy has sneaky pop to all sides of the field, with a lot of pop coming from his pull side. Now, on defense, he's getting comparisons to Yadier Molina, but that is mostly because of his stocky build and his durability. Defensively, not so much. He is a solid defender, certainly not Yadier Molina level, but he does have the potential to get there someday as he grows throughout the minor leagues. Now, it's always fun to get a new signing, especially when you get a bunch of them in a time where there's no other things to talk about. It's finally some Red Sox news, and it's been a pretty bleak offseason, so this was a great silver lining kind of thing to happen for the Red Sox. Do I believe that any of these guys are going to be big names in the MLB one day? I really don't know, because they're just so young. A million different things could happen. Injuries, lack of ability to hit an in-American farm system, stuff like that. Anything could happen. But the guy I will say I am most excited about is Johan Garcia. It seems like this guy has the potential to be a 5-tool catcher, which would be great. I love Christian Vasquez, but we don't know how he's going to be in 5 or 6 years either. And Johan could turn into something fantastic. Most people are very excited about the first guy we talked about because he is the 19th highest rated overall prospect with that fantastic power and hitting ability. But the other thing I wanted to say, we signed another 2 shortstops. Right now, I've gone through 3 different shortstops in our prospect videos, and we probably still have a couple more to talk about. So I don't exactly know where all of these shortstops are going to fit in. And realistically, a couple, if not most of them, are going to have to move out of the shortstop position to even fit in with the Red Sox going forward. So all in all, great signings. I think this is very fun to talk about, especially with no baseball. And I guess we'll see. We'll see if these guys turn into anything big. Maybe they don't, maybe they do. But either way, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about these signings? Do you care at all about these signings? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you all very much for clicking on this video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. And if you are still watching and have not liked the video, please do that as well. Thank you all again for clicking on this video, and I will see you in the next one.